Welcome to Academic Guru's Tutoring Thursday, where we answer all of your high school, college, and university questions. If you would like your question to be featured on next week's Tutoring Thursday, please submit your questions to questions@academicgurusinc.com. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay current with all of our new videos. So today I'll be solving an algebra question that was sent in to us, and the question reads, the sum of two numbers is 67. The larger number is 4 more than 2 times the smaller. What are the two numbers? And we've been given 4 options to choose from. The easiest way to solve a word problem such as this is to break the question down into parts and translate the word problem into an actual equation. So if we start with the first part of the question that reads that the sum of two numbers is 67. So in this case, you want to start with two arbitrary numbers. So let's say x and y. And we're told that the sum of the two numbers is 67. So what that means is that if you were to take x and add it to y, the sum would be equal to 67. So that's the first part of the question. As for the second part, which tells us that the larger number is 4 more than 2 times the smaller. So here we've got to decide whether x or y is the smaller number and which of the two is the larger number. I'm going to decide that x is the smaller number and y is the larger number. Therefore, y is greater than x. Now that we've decided that y is the larger number and x the smaller number, we can go ahead and translate this word problem into the equation where we're saying that y is equal to 4 more, which is just the addition of 4, then 2 times the smaller number, which we've decided is x. So we have y is equal to 4 plus 2x. Now that we've managed to translate the word problems into two equations, so we've taken the first part, which is the sum of the two numbers is 67, and we've taken the second part, which told us that the larger number is 4 more than 2 times the smaller, we are left with the last part of the question, which asks us to figure out what the two numbers are. So here we have a problem. Even though we have two equations that represent the word problem, we also have two variables. And whenever you have two equations with two variables, the easiest way to approach this is to substitute one of the equations with the variable. So in other words, here we've defined y as being equal to 4 plus 2x, and what we can do is to substitute that equation into this part right here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rewrite this equation starting with x plus, and here I'm going to substitute the y with the y equation. I'll change colors here to make that a little bit more clear. So our y now becomes 4 plus 2x, and this is equal to 67. Now we can go ahead and calculate this through. So we can take our x over here, add it to our 2x over here, and that just equals 3x. And we add that to 4, which is simply equal to 67. Alright, so now our goal here is to solve for the x. We've got a 4 in the way, so what we'll do is we'll subtract 4 from both sides. So let's do that. We've got our 3x plus 4 minus 4 equals 67 minus 4. If we calculate that through, we have 3x, and this subtracted by this is just equal to 0. So 3x is equal to 67 minus 4 is 63. And again, our goal is to solve for x, and we do that by dividing by 3 on both sides of the equation. And 3 divided by 3 is simply 1, or in other words, x is equal to 63 divided by 3 is simply 21. So this gives us the answer to our first variable, that is x is equal to 21. Now that we know what x is equal to, we can go ahead and plug x into our original equation and then solve for y, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to use the other side of my board here, starting again with our original equation, but in this case we now know that x is equal to 21, so I'll change colors and we'll start with 21, which is equal to y, which is equal to 67. This time our goal is to solve for y, and in order to do that we'd have to subtract 21 from both sides of the equation. So again, we've got our 21 minus 21 plus y is equal to 67 minus 21. 21 minus 21 is simply equal to 0, so we are left with y is equal to 67 minus 21, which is equal to 46. And so this leads us to the second part of our variable. So y is equal to 46, x is equal to 21. If this were to be a test, I would go one step further and actually test those values by plugging what we found to be our x value and our y value into our original equations. And that's what I'm going to do here. So if we start off with the first equation, and instead of x, we write 21 plus, instead of y, we now write 46, we find that this is in fact equal to 67. So our first equation proves to be correct. Let's go on to our second equation here. So instead of y, we've got 46 is equal to 4 plus 2 times, instead of x we've got 21, and if we calculate this through, 2 times 21 is simply 42, and 4 plus 42 is in fact equal to 46. So therefore our second equation holds true, and therefore x is in fact equal to 21, y is in fact equal to 46, and therefore the second choice is correct. So there you are. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for tuning into our Tutoring Thursday channel. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. We would love to hear from you. Until next week's Tutoring Thursday, happy studying.